Do we have to start now?
Hello everyone and welcome to the really big podcast with myself, Seb Graham, and I'm here with Jack Yardley.
Hello.
I'm also here with Oliver Johnson.
Alright.
Hello
Johnson.
Oliver, how are you Johnson?
Johnson.
Johnson, how are
You
you?
never called me that. Why are you starting now?
How the fuck are you, Von? You're not answering the question, answer the question!
Oh, what was the question?
How are you?
I'm great. How are
Yeah.
you? Well, I'm good enough.
So
adequate.
you're cordial, as the term I think is. I've lost the
Yeah.
graphic for the episode, and I'm searching for it on my computer, which everyone can see, and I'm really embarrassed by that.
I can't see it.
Right, I'm going
Yes, I can see that.
I'm going to
I can't
distract
see it.
myself now. How are you?
There's a lot of porn in there.
Shit, you can tell. I thought that the
Actually-
resolution was...
No, I'm just like...
wait a minute. I can't find it. Bloody hell, where's it gone?
You not have it open.
Wonderful start. I did have it open, but I accidentally closed it.
Seb, what is mimesis?
Memephis. I don't know, it
Yeah.
sounds like some sort of study of memes.
Seb, that says. That says Game of.
Memeology.
That says-
This.
Podcast.
Oh.
Oh no, I'll try and do it by date because it should be.
You know
I
you
just saw it. I
can-
just saw it. Hold on. I'm just scrolling through. I just saw it, but I can't see it now. Oh,
You know you can go into OBS and just click the little eye so no one can see your screen, right?
Well, I'm not hiding anything, but
No,
Okay,
he
I'll-
doesn't appear to have that much to hide. But this isn't exactly the most organised way to start a podcast, so it's probably best you resolve this now rather than later.
it was until this happened. But yeah, we're going. Okay, I've got it on the screen. Good. Okay, so is there anyone who hasn't introduced? Michael, how are you, Michael?
Oh, what up? How is everyone?
Good. I'm sorry I saved you till last.
In pain and in need.
You haven't introduced me yet.
Oh, I'm Peter.
Yeah, who
Shipway.
are you anyway?
Hey,
because
how
you're-
are you, the way of the ship? It's because you said a lot. I thought that you were introduced via proxy.
No introduction needed.
No instruction needed. Everyone knows the ship.
Everybody knows the Pete of shit.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, you can't phase the ship.
Everybody
Everybody
knows
knows
about
where
the
the
Pete. The
Hey
Pete,
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 will you
Pete.
teach us the way of the ship?
Does he know the way?
Yeah, does he know
Everybody's-
the way? Okay,
You know
anyway,
the way.
yeah. And we'll start with some odd news. I've got some stories from the week which I've selected by going through various news websites.
Oh, you haven't, have you?
Yeah, it's what I do every week. But
Oh,
anyway,
you have you?
yeah, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Why
you
would
haven't.
I- yes. Anyway, a couple were ordered to stop selling drawings of famous footballers outside the Man United stadium because they were annoying people and the drawings were terrible. The
Okay.
article doesn't come with the pictures, but I'm just wondering how terrible would the drawings have to be for the police to use that as a reason to get them to move on.
Maybe the Jesus portrait woman is trying to ply her craft again.
Oh, yeah, and it's got the sort of sideways face with the one eye bigger than the other.
I've got
and-
some odd news. I'll
Oh, go
post
on.
it in the
Okay.
Skype chat.
Oh. Well, I won't be able to read it because I'm hosting the show.
Indeed. We'll have-
Is it safe for work, Pete?
Sort of not. There's
Right.
no
I'm
there's nothing-
intrigued.
there's no graphic pictures.
Well, that's always a good way to start a story.
I'm busy.
Introduce. Introduce.
You're backing up the wall.
Introducing Peter Shipway's brother
Shut
to really
up,
big
Grandma!
I thought I told you people to leave me alone. I told you not doing it. Oh,
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Pete
I thought
was-
you were my grandma.
Pete was going to send us something either pornographic or politically incorrect, so, Pete, over to you.
Fire away.
Or both. Pete?
He's typing it.
Oh. Why,
Send
can't
it
you
on
just
now.
explain it? You've got me on
It doesn't matter.
tenterhooks.
It doesn't matter, Pete. I mean, if Seb, if you don't explain it, I will.
Okay, Jack, you seem to know what this is. Explain.
I will once he's typed it.
What, so you don't know?
No, because he hasn't put it in the Skype yet.
Then why did you act like you were privy to knowledge?
Because I'd be the first one to see it, because you can't, although Pete stopped typing now, so I don't know what's going on. Pete, are you still putting this in or not?
What even is this?
Be a big surprise for us all.
Just say it, Pete.
I know, it's not going to be worth It's not going to be worth the surprise. Okay, guys, keep in mind I can't see this. Tell me what it is.
Oh. Apparently
Can you tell what it is yet?
Oh no.
Click on the link and have a look.
What? Sorry, say that again, Mike.
I'm actually going to have a look at this, actually.
Oh.
Okay, it says apparently there is a nudist event in Stoke-on-Trent that adults and children of all ages are invited to.
Oh, bloody hell.
That's a pretty big risk, isn't it?
Children, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why would a child want to be, a nudist? And B, why would children go? Who organised this? Herbert from Family Guy.
British naturism, apparently.
Why is this making me think of? Why is this making me think of Woodstock?
Woodstock.
I think it's a pretty far cry from Woodstock.
Was that intentional, Jack?
I believe you when you say "Ollie far cry." It's just that when I see children being invited to this, immediately the first word come to mind is Woodstock for some reason.
Why was that full of naked children?
Well, there was Homer was there.
Right.
You remember?
So
your logic
is
is
faultless.
faultless.
For naked children is what you're saying, Pete.
Yes.
I like how you had to say that there's no graphic pictures. Well, I'm relieved about that because I'm not having this video flagged.
Yeah, thank goodness for that.
Oh, we've got a viewer. It's a Mr. Harris, Rolf Harris. What have you done?
Oh, if only.
He wants
What
to know
do you mean
when
if
it
only?
is.
Have you forgotten, Mike?
No, I haven't forgotten.
But you said if only.
You're the saddest man in the kingdom, and that's including Rolf Harris.
What's it?
Alright, I just thought any celebrity viewer is better than
Wait, is there a
So
comment?
any publicity is better than bad publicity.
Anyway, hello, Mr. Harris.
You know what I mean?
What
I
do you mean?
can't see the comment.
I'm not sure any comment is better than none in this case.
Okay, we've got two people viewing that. One of them's probably me.
One of them is also me, so
Oh,
no
okay.
one's viewing.
Well, one of them's me as well.
And me.
And me as well.
So,
not me, I'm just still on Skype.
So you are in fact in deficit of 2 viewers.
I've actually
we got
switched.
3 now.
I've actually switched off it, so that's probably right now.
But anyway, some more news that's not paedophile related. The world's top bridge player was banned for doping.
Bridge player?
Yeah, the card game.
Really? What kind of stuff was he on to try and improve his performance in that?
I don't know, but if I was off my head on drugs, I wouldn't be able to play any card game.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, whoa, man, what are you playing the Queen of Hearts for? Isn't the Queen of all of our hearts when you think about it?
Oh.
It's...
Only if you're a monarchist.
Yeah, then I suppose at least you have the Ace of Clubs. Clubs. Anyone can join a club, man.
I think the best card joke I've ever heard was that one by Arnie Pie. And how am I supposed to do that? Do I have a magic lens that can see into people's souls? Well, yours would be black, Kent. Black as the Ace of Spades.
So yeah, what do you guys think of this bridge player who's been banned?
Wow.
I mean, do you think that performance-enhancing drugs would make a difference with a card game?
I doubt that immensely.
Friends?
No.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even think it's worth banning him because it's like he didn't. It's not as if it would have given him an advantage.
Kind of bringing down the class.
Well, yeah, I suppose if you've got some sort of druggie, in this big tournament, then yeah, it would bring the mood down, wouldn't it?
Well,
How
they
about
have
you,
issues
Pete?
with-
Would you allow him to compete? Or would you say that he has an unfair advantage? I want to hear your take on it.
Well,
Would you ban the drug guy?
I
a
wouldn't.
card game, no.
No, I mean, it's not like he has to run across the table quickly to play a card, is it?
I mean,
it's just it's a game of luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed the part. What drugs was he on? Does it say?
Just the article only says doping, so presumably something that makes him think quicker or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I don't think he was like on
yeah,
steroids.
I suppose in that case.
Steroids.
But in that
Yeah.
case, can't
If
they,
it makes
instead
him
of
go all Rain Man, then yeah, ban him because that is cheating.
But here's the thing, though. Just to even the playing field and to save time, why not just give everyone else drugs?
Because people might not want them.
Yeah, but what if... But, you know, if everyone else is taking them, then you're going to take them. A, because of peer pressure, and B, because you don't want to be the one left out and having a disadvantage.
Well, no, I just won't play if I was in that situation.
So you'd be like, nah, no drugs for me, mate, I'm out.
Yeah.
Fair enough, don't do drugs.
Drugs are bad and cry.
Yeah, exactly, as Mr. Mackey would say. More news. A man has had a blocked nose for 2 years. It was found out that he had a tooth stuck up there.
Shit.
Whoa.
How did that happen?
Right,
Yeah.
apparently it was a freak accident. When he was a child, he got in a fist fight with
Also.
another child, and he punched the other child's tooth out, and it must have flown up his nose and got stuck.
And he never noticed.
He never noticed. Then again, I suppose out of sight, out of mind, but apparently his symptoms only started a few years later, and they had a surgery to remove his tooth that was stuck up there.
Did
Wow.
he give it back to the kid?
I don't think it would fit anymore, would it? I think he'd have outgrown
No.
it.
I think the funniest thing we've ever heard, any funniest story we've ever heard of people losing their teeth would be that hockey game on The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah, a lot of funny stories about losing teeth.
Knock out my teeth!
Or the dentist from Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, what's that?
I don't
Good
know.
question.
Can someone move their phone? Because those sorts of things are usually caused by phones.
I don't mind, mine's far enough away.
Okay. More news.
So anyway,
Neighbours were worried about the welfare of a man who was standing outside in a blizzard in Minnesota. They called the police. Turns out it was a cardboard cutout.
Some people are just...
But they were worried because he wasn't wearing a coat and he was standing perfectly still.
People believe anything if it looks realistic enough.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. What do you guys think?
It
Look at what
shows where their priorities are, isn't it? Just...
But there was no explanation for how it got there.
They didn't even try to, like, approach the person.
Well,
just
it was
to
a
check-
blizzard. I suppose they wouldn't want to go out themselves.
how did it stay there?
Good question, because it would have been windy and stuff. I don't know if it got embedded in the snow or... I have no idea.
Yeah.
could be attributed to a could be attributed to the okay, I've lost my train of thought now.
It's alright.
I've got some odd news.
Oh, go on, Jack.
Okay.
4 days ago there was a Star Wars concert and they actually
It's
managed to no, that's not the odd thing. The odd thing is they actually managed to get some individuals who know how to use a lightsaber to play Anakin and Obi-Wan while they played their fights.
Oh, wow, so they reenacted the scene.
Eh?
So they reenacted the whole scene.
Pretty much.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I saw it on YouTube. Yeah, they're very well choreographed.
I'll have to have a
we're
look at that.
Yeah, I'll watch that because I think I saw something about it, but I didn't look at the details. But
I'll
while we're
put it
talking
in
about
the
Star
story.
Wars, can I show you guys something?
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah, you know what it is, Ollie. Right, me and Ollie, and then later Mike, went up the bowling alley earlier for a while. Just as a what's he call it? A spontaneous thing.
No one
Yeah.
invited me.
Well, that's because it was spontaneous, and you'd have probably said, "Oh, I can't come."
I might
How
have
far
done.
do you live anyway,
We
Jack?
live pretty far away.
Well, let's solve this right now. Let's all go bowling. You know, the invite's out there, and
Right now.
yeah. Well,
I'm
not
not
right
like
now, but well.
Okay,
Do you know what, if I was driving, I'd just drive over to your house, not caring about the expense, and pick you all up and saying, right, we're going bowling.
I don't like bowling.
But what are you complaining about?
So that's why they didn't invite you.
They don't know that.
He would have
do.
liked to have been asked, I think, is the point.
Yes.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's like that one time I was
So,
left
do you want to go
in
bowling?
charge
No.
of- Yeah.
The thing is, I did like bowling once. I felt like I was in the zone with it, but then after that, so I bowled a bad game and just thought, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, but it's just it's just a bit of fun, and
It's
B,
just fun.
you might do better the next time. I've
Well,
had
he
some
said,
crap
I did
games,
like
I've had some
bowling
games
once
I
I
won.
thought a tragic story was
Then I
coming.
took an. But
Yeah,
then I
it's a
took
tragic
arrow
story.
in the
It's
knee.
like that American Dad episode where he doesn't do skating anymore because he once fell over.
I felt I was cursed.
I don't think
Call
that
it bad
bowling's
luck.
an important enough sport to curse somebody over.
Unless they're a professional bowler.
Yeah, I
Are
mean,
there
we're not going to be
professional
professional. We're not going to do Big Lebowski and be professional. about
We're not
it.
making money off this, so it's no skin off
So
our nose.
basically, you felt like Roy Munson.
There must be professional bowlers. There's professional everything.
Yeah, well, I think it's a big thing in America, not necessarily here, although they have leagues here, because there's been times when we've been to go bowling before and they said, no, it's closed for the leagues. And they take it really seriously, like they buy these professional bowling balls. I don't understand how they're different from regular ones. And, you know, they polish them in a special way, and they have their techniques.
balls.
Well, they polished their balls.
Yeah, they polish
Oh,
their
that's
balls,
just
Pete.
They do stay at the hotel sometimes.
Hygiene's important. What, the balls?
No. I actually have got bowling ball league.
What, did they run out of storage at the bowling alley?
Okay, Seb,
Yeah.
perhaps you'd
You've
like to
been on a
continue the
tangent. We're
story.
talking about other people's balls now. Anyway, I'll show you this picture. There was a prize from the ticket machines, which we had enough to get, so we got it. We saw this action figure of Finn from Star Wars, you know, played by John Boyega, and we wanted it, not because we thought it was neat, but because of how shit it looked. We were disappointed the actual thing we got looked better, so we assumed that the one that was on display must have melted in the light. But I will show you this action figure now. Look at your screens now. What do you guys think of
You probably
this?
should have led with the picture.
Yeah, I should have done. I built it
can't
up too
see it.
much.
I'll
Guys,
just
can you
turn
see
my
it now?
screen off.
Look now.
We'll turn it back on again.
No.
Well,
I can
on
see it now.
Can you
YouTube.
see
Hang
it
on.
now? Look at it. Feast
Look
your
at
eyes
Oh
on it.
God!
Feast your
It
eyes
looks like
on
something
this.
it looks like something you'd see on that bootleg page.
It does. Just look at
I
it.
told him to submit it, but you
Oh, I
know,
think
since
I will.
it's not
Just
technically
look
a
at this,
bootleg.
guys. It looks like Scarecrow from Batman. Look at this.
Oh,
We thought it was a
been
really
not-
crap bootleg, but we think it must have just melted under the heat.
No, maybe look. He could be like that New Hope guy.
Oh, Dr. Everzon or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's a wanted man now. He'll have the death sentence on 12 systems.
Hang
Uh,
on,
You
I'll
do-
They don't
I'll be
like
right back.
you.
You do know that
Mustafa
You do know-
edition.
you do know that in the original storyline, that doctor actually started a zombie outbreak.
Jack, what's your opinion on this?
Really, was
Look
that
at the
was that his
picture.
canon story?
Sorry.
Was that his canon story then?
Well, it's not now.
Look at
thank you,
his
Disney.
face.
Oh, so it's some of the old expanded universe. Because I know he he helped one of his Ponda Baba, one of his
I'm back.
in Prime.
Yes.
I just realised that my voice doesn't sync up with what's on the screen, so me going woo will mean nothing for 15 seconds.
He was eventually stopped by Boba Fett.
I keep zooming in on his crotch.
Oh, great.
I think that's more of your impulse, Seb.
Yeah, so sorry about zooming in on John Boyega's crotch. Anyway, I sent him a picture of it over Twitter.
Yeah.
The action figure, not his crotch.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I was wondering.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had a response yet, I'll check. But anyway, more news. A mummy's head was stolen from a crypt in Dublin and found in a local charity shop.
Oh, what will the children think?
What was that noise?
Someone was chinging on a glass. But anyway, what do you guys think of this head that was stolen?
What will the children think?
I don't
Knowing
think
that
there are any
their mummy's
children
in
there.
Knowing that their mummy is an antique shop.
I knew
I
someone
think they'd
was
be
going to
dead by
make...
now. Yeah. But what do you guys think of a mummy's head in the charity shop?
Wow. Okay.
A
That's,
real one?
How much
Yeah,
was
a real
it?
mummy's head.
Yeah. How much was it?
I don't know, like a £5.
Oh, can I... Oh, £2?
Be a,
I don't know how many people are trying to haggle for it.
be
Yeah,
a
I
great
want
Halloween
£2 for
decoration.
the decapitated head, please.
Or wait a minute.
Oh,
The salesman says to a potential buyer, "That's chock full of heady goodness."
But, oh, yeah, I mean... how do you think it even ended up in the charity shop?
Jokes?
Yeah, but that's a bit of a cruel practical joke to steal somebody's corpse. Well, the head of a corpse.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a mummy, but it's still a corpse.
I don't know, maybe someone
Maybe-
thought it was a Halloween decoration.
Then why
Yeah.
would it be in a
Maybe-
crypt?
Maybe it was Logan Paul.
Oh god, sounds like something that would be in one of his videos, doesn't it?
Oh, great.
I certainly
Yeah.
hope no one does buy that, interpreting it as a Halloween costume.
So you're
Well,
hoping that
the-
nobody buys a dead body thinking that it's a fake dead body?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty awful, wouldn't it? I think the smell would be a giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do mummies actually smell?
Unless you get one with an authentic smell. That'd really be going overboard for Halloween, but a lot of people do. You know, like they put like giant dummy mummies outside the house. Try saying that 3 times or you're pissed. But yeah.
Yeah.
Next one. An old preacher in Arkansas has been suspected of being Elvis this week. The man who's in his 90s apparently bears a striking resemblance to the old rock star.
Is that how old Elvis would be? Like, now?
Actually, can someone look up Elvis's date of birth?
You would have been... You would have been 83 or 84 now.
Really, that young? You sure?
He was only 42 when he died.
Really?
Yeah.
Elvis
I knew he
Presley.
was young, but I thought he was like in his 50s. But someone look up Elvis's date of birth for me, because I'm doing a stream.
Now you see, it's not good
Elvis
just to
Presley.
say Elvis, because there are lots of people going by the name of
Yeah, it
Elvis.
could be Elvis Costello, couldn't it?
He's not that old.
But I think it's
Date
Elvis
of birth.
Presley they're referring to.
January the 8th,
of January
1935.
But you know this...
No,
We'll say that again, Pete.
The 8th of January 1935.
Okay.
Died 16th
So he
of
could
August,
still be alive if
1957.
he faked his death for whatever reason.
Maybe the fame got to him. He just didn't want it anymore.
Although, if you think about it, if you do fake your death, it's the perfect way to fake your death, because if you say, he died taking a shit and eating a burger, then, you'd say, say no more, and you wouldn't ask any further questions, would you?
Yeah.
Do people still think Michael Jackson's still alive?
I
don't
saw
know.
something said
There are people who think
Like-
Hitler's still alive.
Michael
Jack.
He'd be the
Jackson
world's
alive
oldest man
and
if he was
planning
still alive.
comeback. I saw something that said Michael Jackson alive and planning comeback.
That's brilliant. Although, to be fair, he's released a lot of songs since he's died. But anyway, Pete, so's David Bowie.
Well, what do people know? I mean, I think some people thought Macaulay Culkin was dead.
No, he
Oh,
just
you
looked
hear
when
anything
people
on the
thought-
internet
And
now.
when people thought Keenan and Kel were dead.
Look, if you Google something on the internet, whatever it is, you'll find someone who believes it.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
anyone who you
bananas are
guys believe are really
marsupials.
alive who are
Look
assumed
at flat
dead?
earthers.
People probably think that we're all dead, even though we're broadcasting right now.
No, we just feel it.
Yeah.
Bananas are marsupials. Cars run on gravy.
But are there any dead people who you believe might still be alive?
Uh,
Like
Not
that you
the
think
look
might
like
have
all-
actually faked their death and are still about?
No.
Because they're
No.
common sort of tropes, but there's never really any evidence, and I don't think anyone ever turns out to still be alive.
Well, I did think that about this dog my family once had.
Right? Explain, Jack.
she'd been put down when, in fact, when all that time I thought she'd ran away.
Really?
So what? They told you that it ran away, but they had it put down?
No, they never told me. I just guessed.
So, wait a minute. You
Your
didn't
family had a
ask
dog, and
You didn't ask your parents where the dog went?
I assume they always knew.
But
I was-
why
I
was
was-
there no further discussion about this dog?
I was young and autistic. Give me a break, Seb.
No, how old were you, though?
5, 9.
I mean, so you're either 5 or 9. That's a bit of a...
that's quite a gap in
Right,
that
right.
stage of development.
I'm autistic.
Yeah, it's fair. Fair enough.
Okay. Sorry.
This is one of those situations where I just get to say I'm autistic until someone says fair enough.
That's not the
That's not how it
defense you seem
works.
to treat it as, Jack.
It's not a get out of jail card.
Why not?
Although some
Might as well-
people will use it.
Because
I can
lots-
imagine you going on a rampage and like, I don't know, like
Jack,
smashing
don't be
beer
that guy,
bottles and...
is what I'm saying. Don't
If I-
be that guy.
As long as I'm not using it to make money or using it as an excuse to hurt people, I think I can use it for whatever I
See
want.
the amazing autistic boy, gather round, pound a Joe.
Oh god, don't be that guy.
Shall we move
To
on?
me or Jack at
Yeah, well,
this
what
point?
other-
Let's
what
move
other
on.
news
This
have
is
we
getting
got?
a bit weird. Anyway, talking about a bit weird, Tinder has been invented.
That is weird.
Yeah, it is, but Tinder has been invented to match cows.
Why?
Cows-
Why?
I don't know.
Does that mean they've just
Exactly
added
only
a
why.
database?
Why do I get the feeling that's had something to do with the Republicans?
Well, when I say cows, I mean animals. I don't mean like for women are cows.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Yes,
think
me too.
Republicans,
I don't think Republicans develop apps, and I don't think any politicians develop apps in order to get a cow laid.
Well, it's just. Well,
I don't
it's
think
just
it's
that
a
the
priority for any political party, to be honest. It's just nature, it happens.
well, it's just
Yeah.
that the Republicans have recently said that the Democrats are threatening to steal all their cows.
What, like
That
for
ha-
their farms?
That is literally. No, not
For
like
some reason,
that.
I can just imagine Bill Clinton making away with somebody's livestock.
Well, the thing is, this is what has
I
come
got
up in
this
conversation.
chicken from old man, from old man Bush's chicken coop.
This is just something that has actually come up in conversation in the American political discussions.
So you're saying that Republican politicians think that their Democrat rivals are plotting to steal their livestock?
It's what they've said. It's not what I'm saying. I've been trying to stick.
What would that do them?
Oh.
They could be farmers instead then. You know, they can have a monopoly of the farming business because the Republicans won't be able to be farmers because their livestock's been stolen.
Don't
Ladies and
stop now, there is still some straws vaguely under the bottom of the barrel.
Is it just me or is this show quickly
Lady-
turning into InfoWars?
Ladies and
Probably.
gentlemen, the American government.
But yeah, anyway, the cows have been presented with an iPad and trained to press their nose on a picture of a cow if it's one they like. And the app is called Tudder.
Wow.
You're making that up.
I'm actually not. I'll send you the link.
No, I call bullshit on
I'll send
that.
you the link. I'll send
can
you
call it-
after this show's
Well, no
over. I'll
real.
send you-
Ollie, you can call it that after he sent him the link. Pick your moment.
I suppose they like the way they move. But, yeah, apparently that's an actual app that's been invented. Because apparently the cows will be happier if they're, you know, mating with a bull that they like.
You know, Seb, I can hear our viewers currently going boo, but you know, if it makes you feel any better, it sounds more like moo.
I thought you were going to say boo earns, but... Oh, okay. I've
No,
got two
no,
more
they're saying-
stories.
Boost.
Boost!
I was saying boo words.
I have two more stories. A black Labrador has caused embarrassment this week.
No way.
Anyway, when it tore open a parcel meant for a neighbour to reveal a 6-inch dildo, they found the dog playing with it.
Seb, what is it with you? Why are you drawn to these subjects?
It came up when I searched for odd news.
Seb,
No
I
pun
don't
accepted.
I don't think that's a
But
coincidence.
to the dog, it's
I
just a chew toy.
I just don't think this comes up in conversation. You and devices.
Would you keep it if the dog had it, though? Would you wash? Well, assumably, I hope you'd wash it, but would you keep it?
I wouldn't have one or a dog.
But
Thank you
if you
very
wanted
much.
one, would you keep it?
No, because I
Would you
wouldn't
buy
want
another?
one. I wouldn't want one, so I wouldn't buy one in the first
It's a
place.
hypothetical.
If I
It's a-
wanted one, I'd just buy another one.
Okay,
It's a
thank you, Ollie. Thank you for
It's a-
restoring sense to the conversation.
I was making sense. I was hypothetically avoiding the hypothetical question because I chose not to answer the hypothetical question. I can't be more sensible than that.
Well, I mean,
Pete,
if,
would you keep the dildo?
No.
I,
I wouldn't
Like-
have one and just like.
I wouldn't have one, but were I the type
Exactly.
of person to order one, I think I'd probably inspect
So,
the condition
If
of it
Ollie
first.
had use for it, he would inspect it first.
Of
Like,
course.
if
Mike,
it was,
would you inspect
if it was
the
in good
dildo
enough
and-
nick, I'd just clean it off and. I'm not made of dildo money.
That's what you say to me, Seb.
I don't know how expensive
And
they
now-
are, actually. Can somebody search for how much is a dildo? Because I literally don't know.
I'm not
Wait.
searching
I'd
that.
rather not,
Come on, Google.
Ladies,
I'm
ladies and
curious
gentlemen, ladies
about
and
the price of
gentlemen,
a dildo.
observe.
Incognito mode.
Ladies and gentlemen, observe as Ollie becomes Giantsbane from Game of Thrones.
How so?
It must have been embarrassing for the neighbour. But
Very important.
just imagine if your dog walked past you with a dildo in its mouth. Assumably sideways, like like a bone.
Ollie, I'm surprised you didn't get the reference. It came up in your recap
Oh
video.
yeah. Yes. I remember. Yeah.
Mike, if it was yours, would you keep it or throw it away or just inspect it and potentially wash it and keep it?
Seb,
Yeah.
Well, how do you know the
don't think
neighbours
it-
aren't
I don't
into
think
that
it-
kind of thing?
I think you're a bit behind on the times, Seb. What use would I have for one of them?
I don't know. It's not my role to suggest usage for such thing.
Well, if it's all the same to you, Seb, I tend to prefer the real thing.
Fair enough. No substitute.
Nah.
Anyway,
Technically, those devices are real things. Maybe not the real thing you're thinking of, but they are real because they
well,
do
yeah,
exist. And they
They're
are.
nobody's
corporeal
disputing
enough.
the existence of them. You know, it's not like the Flat Earth Society, but there's the Dildo Myth Society.
Wish I could dispute their existence.
Oh yeah.
Like,
do you
you
think-
know, when people say I don't believe in this or that thing, and they mean I don't have faith in this or that thing,
Yeah.
I just like to counter that with it does exist.
Yeah.
What, like I don't believe, in...
I don't believe in computers. Oh, they're real.
Yeah, no one's made them up.
Exactly.
Yeah, they've
That was
just
the
all
line
been staring
from,
at cardboard boxes the whole time. We've all been fooled.
I got that from A Touch of Cloth because he said, like,
Yes, I remember now.
"What did the restaurant say? Nothing. It's a building. It doesn't have a larynx." But
Oh, brilliant
I don't
show.
believe in computers. They do exist.
Final bit of news. A supermarket worker foils a robbery in Toronto by throwing a banana and knocking them out. The cashier was shaken, but nobody was hurt.
Must have been a hell of a banana.
Or a hell of a
Yeah.
throw.
Are you sure they didn't just slip up on it?
That would have been very comical. I mean, like, who was playing the burglar? Joe Pesci?
You motherfuckers!
I was thinking of a more
Fuck is you?
kid-friendly Joe Pesci.
And
Well,
who
let's-
else get knocked out by
How
a
fresh
banana?
off the tree would a banana have to be hard enough to knock someone out? And how hard would you have to
know.
throw it? Captain Boomerang.
Yeah. Unless
This
the,
is
unless
tr-
the
again
person getting
true.
that was a proper snowflake.
I'll tell you what though, someone who does have the strength to do that probably has the strength to throw a snowflake like a shuriken.
That'd be awesome because they
Wait,
were
you
quite
mean a snowflake or
what,
Do you mean an
someone who's
actual
easily upset?
flake of snow, or
Somebody,
Or somebody
an
that's often-
easily offended person?
I'm referring to an actual snowflake. What else would I be referring to?
Well, snowflake
yes.
is often an adjective now for a particular kind of person. So we like
It's
to
easily
to
offended.
Yeah, and
It is-
ironically, that term's
it is
used by
often used
people
by-
who themselves are easily offended.
I've never heard of
Yeah.
this.
Like Piers Morgan.
Yeah,
So it's kind of a hypocritical
snowflake
comment,
is
then, isn't it?
basically what psychopaths call people to discredit the notion of empathy.
yeah, it's like this
Yeah.
whole thing where
Basically,
Piers Morgan
if
went
you're
nuts because
outraged by
people are
anything-
eating sausage rolls. Well, they were eating vegan sausage rolls, and he went mad about it for some reason, and no one knows
Well,
why he was so upset.
They're just vegan sausage rolls. They've not replaced the other ones.
Yeah,
No, they just added them.
yeah. If you
They're
don't
just
want one, don't buy
catering
it.
to a new clientele that
Yeah.
isn't you.
Exactly, that's what happens in the world
And they have the nerve to call such people snowflakes when they get.
Oh, have
when
you
they
seen
themselves are upset by a sausage roll. But
Have
anyway,
you
what
seen
were you
that
saying?
Piers
Or a
Morgan
Gillette
remix?
advert.
No, explain, Pete.
I'll send it in the Skype chat and you can watch it after.
I'll
But
tell you
anyway-
one. If we can get back to the news item, I think
Yeah.
I've actually seen funnier stuff on America's Dumbest Criminals.
Okay,
Oh,
go on, Jeff.
okay. Give it
Well-
one.
Well, there was this one instance of an individual trying to break into a group of shops. Of course, because the shops have had previous break-ins, they'd replaced their windows with plexiglass, and the criminal didn't know about
Oh,
it. How do you
Oh.
suppose he was trying to break in
by smashing the glass.
with a cinder block?
Oh, so it would have just bounced off.
Yeah,
And
the
it
pla-
bounced
bounced-
off and hit him, didn't
I
it?
bet it
Yeah.
did.
It hit him in the head and he went down.
Some people just never learn, do
That
they?
is great. That is. Do you know what
Was that
America
one
would
Joe
love?
Pesci?
Do you know what America would love? Which, to my knowledge, they don't have exactly. You've been framed. A,
Oh,
no,
because
they-
it's lowbrow, and B, because it's an easy way to
Americans-
get a couple £100.
Well,
they-
America's funniest home videos.
Yeah, but I don't
Which-
think they get money for doing that. I think they just send the videos, don't they?
Well, I believe America's Funniest Home Videos is the equivalent, and for the record, I've seen it. It's not very funny.
Yeah.
When I saw it, they showed a child
Did
at a
they
wedding.
get it from the
throwing
frozen
up.
food section?
What's this? The child was getting married.
No, there was a child at a wedding. He was standing next to the bride. He threw up.
Are you
That's
sure it
not
wasn't
fun-
just a dwarf getting married?
No,
We've got a comment.
For
No,
some
that's-
reason I imagine it's Tyrion Lannister.
no, it wasn't. It was a genuine child.
How do
That's
you know
not-
it was a child? Did they
Hey,
get it
Ian.
from a frozen food section? Oh, hello, Ian. How are you? Thing is, I went to the frozen food section. There wasn't much there except for some popsicles that were shaped like Olaf and, a few things like that.
Popsicles, we're not American.
Oh, ice creams, whatever.
Ice lollies.
Why do people get so upset about Americanisms? People know what they mean.
Actually, some people
Oh, you
don't.
can't call them cookies. They're biscuits here.
Well, one
They're
thing we
not
don't.
cookies,
Fuck off.
they're biscuits.
But why do
Repeat
people call
after
donuts
me.
biscuits
Oh, did you
here?
see that Twitter thread?
Biscuits.
That Twitter thread. Why do British people do this?
Explain, Pete. I don't think you did it justice in your amusing impression.
I remember Jeremy Clarkson commenting about America while they were in Florida, mentioning about how they all like cheese down here. You want cheese with that?
Oh god, they're like that here though. I mean, people are cheese fans.
Cheese.
They go nuts if you say you don't like cheese. Like, you don't like cheese?
I wonder if that.
I
wonder
don't
if
like
that's-
cheese.
Exactly,
Oh,
Pete.
I wonder if
I
we
don't
have
mind it on a
Wallace and.
pizza, but otherwise, I'm not a fan.
Oh my
Not
God.
even Wensleydale.
I wonder if
Peace,
Wallace
I
and,
thought I knew you.
I wonder if Wallace and Gromit are to blame for that.
But
Cheese.
I hate it when you go into a place and you're like, I want a burger without cheese, and they look at you in disbelief like you just asked for doo-doo on it or something like that.
Well,
What,
you might as
without
well have
cheese?
said.
Yes, without cheese. Do you
Well,
ever...
you might
Faith-
as well have done.
But you said you wanted nothing.
It's the disbelief
in
that
your
surprises
dog.
me.
Misplaced, maybe. as is your faith in the cheese and the crackers.
I love that video.
Oh, that one.
Anyway, Jack, I believe you had an idea
This is
for us.
insidious.
Jack has an idea that he wanted to share with us.
Oh, did you want me to share it during the podcast or after the podcast?
Well, no better time in the present.
So you want to
I had an idea for a game we could all play while we were doing the podcast or playing the Kryptonite Factor.
Go on.
How many of you were aware that they used to have a game show based on Cluedo on ITV?
Really?
I
Yes.
literally did not know this until you told me.
I didn't know that.
Well,
I didn't know.
Right back.
I showed a few an episode to Ollie once, and I even showed an episode on to Seb over Skype, but I don't know if he watched it. My idea was that we watch the clips of the murder taking place and we try and guess who it is.
Are we allowed to do that though?
Probably.
Yeah.
Copyright.
But it's
don't
an old,
know.
obscure show from the 90s. Would they still care enough?
Well, they didn't
I
care
think
enough
legally they have to.
they didn't care enough for the episodes to be on YouTube, so I
That's
don't
a good
think...
point, and I assume that ITV didn't officially upload them.
No. In fact, they've been uploaded by multiple...
I suppose if you don't show the entire episode and you make enough of it about your guesses and your how you work that out, you might be able to swing that as fair use.
The Tim Curry version of Cluedo. We've had a
Yeah,
comment.
there was
a
a
Tim
film.
Curry version of Cluedo. Really?
There was a film. It had multiple endings depending on which theatre you went to in America,
That's brilliant.
where who the murderer was changed.
They should have that with kids' movies, like, when somebody, I don't know...
They did it with Final Destination 3, didn't they?
But
I mean,
they
that's
should
not
do
the
it like,
opposite.
in the kids' movies where there's the old trope where they think someone's died and then it turns out they're alive. They
Theoretically
should have an
speaking,
alternative version where they stay dead and that's where the movie ends.
No, they should do like budget screenings, and the cheaper screenings get the bad ending.
Yes.
I don't know, where
So
Super
So
Bowl
what,
was
you have to
do
pay
that
more
with
for a
that.
better ending?
They were going to
They
do
should
that
do
with
that with the next
Fantasia.
Star Wars movie just to annoy the
Oh,
Star
shit,
Wars fans.
Don't give them ideas. Don't think that hasn't been talked about.
But imagine if they did that for the next Star Wars movie where they think of variant endings that would offend Star Wars fans and they just release them at different
What?
midnight
So
screenings.
literally any ending you could possibly conceive.
Exactly. But there's like loads of different ones, so it just fucks with the fans when they talk to each other after the movie and like, oh my god, I can't believe that Luke turned out to be a male gigolo. And then the other one's like, wait a minute, I thought that...
Were we watching the same movie?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I thought that Leia wasn't really dead No, I thought that Han wasn't really dead all along and he was just pretending to be stabbed.
I would like to remind everyone here that I am not exactly in favour of the Disney version of Star Wars, and I prefer the Legend storyline because it is better.
No,
you
it's
prefer
not.
it because it's convoluted and you have to buy 1 billion books for any of it to make sense, and when you do,
You
none of
prefer
it
it
makes sense
because you've
it's-
invested time in it.
Yeah.
It's not better.
I invested time in it because it's better, Ollie.
Well, it's not though.
But
How
it
is
is
it
though.
then? How would you
Convoluted
say
and
it's better then,
complex
Jack?
and doesn't add up with itself. Skippy the Force droid, Jack. Skippy the Force droid.
What?
The thing is, the
Sticky
better
the
aspects
Force
have been
is part of
kept like
Legends.
Thrawn. The better aspects have been kept and reutilised.
No, they haven't. They got rid of Abeloth and Darth Crate.
Might come back.
Good riddance. I don't actually know who they are, but I'm just being contradictory.
Yeah, exactly.
If
They might
you-
use them later. I mean, it was a while before they used Thrawn again.
They can't use Darth Crate now,
Why not?
Why not?
and they also can't
Says
use
who? They own
Abeloth
the
because
property.
they
Well,
can't use that.
It's like 150 years
They can
after
do
the
whatever
Battle
they
of
want.
Endor.
They own the IP.
Yeah, they can do literally anything they want because they own the property.
If
But they-
something happened
You know,
in
they-
the
they could
story
make-
that prevents the way they came about
They
before
could
from
make
happening, they'll
Luke
bring them about
Skywalker.
another.
If they wanted to, they could make Luke Skywalker on Acto strip off all his clothes and then tuck and do the pee-pee dance.
Apparently
fun-
they're bringing back George Lucas. Oh god, no.
It's funny how you would think that, Seb. What's wrong with bringing back George Lucas?
Right. You
Let's
would
just
see
not-
Luke Skywalker's mangina.
Can we not forget that that without George Lucas we wouldn't have a Star Wars? So can we
Exactly.
just give him the respect he deserves, please? Sure,
No,
he's made
I
mistakes.
actually agree with Jack
Everybody
on this
does.
one,
He
actually.
also
Isn't he
gave
like
it. He also gave us Indiana Jones.
He also gave
Actually,
us
that
Kingdom
was
of the Crystal
More
Skull.
Steven Spielberg, but
So
And
what
of
would, you say, what would you say the entire Star Wars Legends is better then, Jack? What would you say is it? Why is it? How is it better in your opinion?
the entire Star Wars Legends can't be better because there's too much of it.
That's why it's better.
How so though?
So,
More is better.
no, it's not.
No,
Yes, it is.
I think that Rick Waller would disagree.
Not only that, but also on the old canon, Darth Maul wasn't retconned.
Wait a minute, if more is better, then surely the more STIs you have, the better.
Well,
No,
in
Chef.
Mr. Burns' case, it
How
is.
many movies exist in the pre-Disney Star Wars?
I don't know what
Less
the
of
Crystal
them.
Skull is either.
So therefore, the Disney version is better.
By that logic,
How many audiobooks are there?
An ever-expanding number, I'll wager.
Well,
yeah, definitely.
Potentially infinite.
How
well,
many of them are
they
read
st-
by Mr. TiVo?
they
None
won't
of them,
be as good.
therefore your argument is invalid.
They won't be as good as the Fate of the Jedi series. That's just a fact. End of story.
Well, no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Subjective.
Yeah, it is subjective.
Spoken like someone who hasn't read or heard the Fate of the Jedi books.
Or someone who just doesn't give a crap.
Precisely. Which is why my argument will never be understood fully, and I'm totally wasting my time with all of you.
Wasn't that something else you wanted to tell us all, Jack? Like you said something funny happened to you in the week.
Well, I did have to cheer a friend up at work some
That is
time
funny.
ago. No, the funny part was the fact that she was having a bad day. She said she was having a bad day ever since she ate a Kit Kat, right? So
Oh
I said
God! Well, that is bad.
So I said to her, "It seems like Kit Kats are like mirrors to you, because you have a break and then you get 7 years bad luck."
Oh, I
But
get it.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Then
I like
did
how you
it
thought that
cheer
was
her up?
hot too.
P, every time I start to talk on something intelligent, you put that Michael Jackson gif up.
That's for the Star Wars discussion.
Why
We
are you
were doing it
sending
in
pictures
anticipation
between
of the
yourselves like
argument.
school children? I'm the headmaster of this show. I've got to keep you all in order.
It ain't my fault Star Wars fans hate Star Wars.
That's true. I don't think many Star Wars fans do like Star Wars.
I don't hate Star Wars. I think the Disney movies are good as sci-fi movies, but they're nowhere near as good as the old canon. They're just not.
Well, they've barely come into being at this point. Give them a chance.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Wait for there to be a Disney expanded universe before you declare it inferior.
there is
Ollie,
a big
they've had-
pile of books for the old
Ollie,
stuff.
they've
but there's a
they've
growing
had-
library for the new.
Ollie, they've had 3 movies and an animated TV series.
Yeah, and they've been good.
Yeah,
No, they have not. Have you seen Darth Maul's death in Star Wars Rebels? It was-
works
yeah,
perfectly.
I
Works
think it was
perfectly.
closure.
Yeah.
It does not work
He
perfectly.
outsmarted Darth Maul.
He might outsmart Darth Maul, but
No,
he
he's
can't
better.
use that technique.
Not
He
when I
doesn't
can
know
Star
it.
Well,
He-
Well, no,
apparently he
how
does.
do you know he doesn't know it? He could have learnt it. You know, you don't know what he's been doing for the last
At
60
the end of
years.
Revenge of the Sith,
But
you
I
see
do
Luke as a
know.
baby, but in A New Hope you see him walking and talking. Why didn't we see him learn those skills?
Yes, exactly.
But I do know his lightsaber styles, and McCarthy isn't one of them. If he
But
would,
how do you know he didn't have some sort of instruction on it? He might
That's
have
not-
just tried it and decided it wasn't for him. But, you know, I've tried ballroom dancing and I never really followed it up, but I bet I could still do a good,
just writ
chow
something.
chow.
guys, if he knew that technique, he would have fared better against Count Dooku. He
But
didn't.
it's not his
Therefore-
style. I mean, like, I
therefore-
can write
Learn
left-handed,
it
but I'm
between
right-handed.
those times.
You know,
That's a big time window. He could have learned it since Revenge of the Sith.
like, I can write with my toes, but I just don't usually do it because it's better. I prefer writing with my hands.
For the record, Mike, you are correct. Count Dooku was an expert in that technique, and if he faced Darth Maul, it would have ended that way. But Obi-Wan is not a Makasi expert. He is a Form 3
This is
Cerritos.
turning into the Star
No,
Wars
he did have
podcast.
experience fighting Darth Maul.
Well, Obi-Wan was alone on a planet for a long time. How do you
Yeah.
know he didn't devote that time into learning it?
Exactly. And how
Yeah,
do you know
plenty
he
of time
didn't
to
try it
learn.
when he was younger?
With who as a teacher?
He studied under Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon
And
only
Qui-Gon
taught
knows it.
Qui-Gon only taught him Atari because that's his chosen style. He didn't teach him Akasi.
All
Well-
Jedi study all 7 forms. Just so they just end up devoting themselves to a particular one.
And the
of-
ones
It's
who
like
don't
cops. I'm sure
concentrate
they
on
have
a
to learn stuff that they never use. I mean, at school, didn't you learn a lot of stuff that you've not used since?
What I've learned from Versus series is that Jedi who don't concentrate on a single style don't often do well in fighting. They become nine-man specialists, jacks of all trade, who are pretty much good at everything, but they're not exactly the best in certain fields and can often get beaten by some who are experts in certain fields.
Well, yeah, but Obi-Wan was already like the ultimate master of Form 3, was it? So
He was the poster boy, and his only offense was Atari, not Makasi. That is what he used to defeat Darth Maul in the first film.
Yeah, but
and
the
then
thing is, if he used his usual moves, it would have been predictable and it wouldn't have been as
he
effective.
caught him off guard. It's
Yeah.
not that.
He surprised him with something he wasn't expecting because from what I understand, he was adopting
Maybe
the
he
pose
just
that Qui-Gon
practiced
used
that
just
one
before he got
technique.
stabbed. So
It's quite reminiscent of old samurai duels,
Yeah.
which often ended in like one go.
he outsmarted Maul, and that's that.
Yeah.
And not only that, but also he wouldn't be taking the time to learn new lightsaber styles because he was too busy learning to become a Force ghost.
But how do you know it's taking up all his time, though? You know, like he hasn't
How
been
do you
doing
know it
non-stop
wasn't?
for 20 years. Well, I don't, but assumably, if he's seen on screen doing something, then that means at one point he learned how to do it.
We
And
can only
plus, Tatooine is quite a harsh and unforgiving place. He'd have to be able to defend himself at some point.
not likely. He can just use a mind trick to fool everyone who he runs
Yeah, but
into.
Darth Maul's like a Force user, so it wouldn't have worked on him.
Probably.
Anyway,
And plus,
Yeah.
some
Any
people,
more-
plus mind tricks
Oh
don't work
god,
on
this
some
is
people.
the strangest argument ever. Pete, bring some
Is there any
sanity
more
back
odd
to our
news?
lives. There isn't any more odd news, I'm afraid, Pete. Although, I will share that...
Oh, Sam,
Go on,
I should
Ollie.
mention that Ian has commented twice. He
Yes.
said the crystal what and Willow is better.
I thought you were going to
Is
talk
it-
about the Crystal Maze.
Yeah.
But Willow is better than what?
Well, I think
Oh,
there
sure.
was like rumours that someone had made like a Indiana Jones fan film in 2000 and something.
Oh,
8 was it?
just rumours.
Yeah, that that starred a very good Harrison Ford lookalike for his age, and it had aliens in it or some shit. So
Oh, Christ.
clearly
I
not
remember.
something that would ever actually exist.
Oh, yeah. That was
Kingdom
weird
of the
because
Crystal
it
Skull.
looked just like Indiana Jones in some aspects, but it definitely wasn't.
When
I
he says,
actually haven't seen that movie.
Don't
Ian,
bother
when you-
me.
Well, it never happened.
bother.
So.
Ian, when you say Willow is better, are you referring to Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No, I think he's
Willow
referring to the
Voice.
film Willow, starring Warwick Davis.
That was a classic.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was. I
I
love
remember
that.
that now. Mike, tell us about the Naked Dwarf again.
You know the story.
I know, but I like it when you regale us. It's
Well,
amusing.
all I have to say to that, Ian, is that it must be good if it's better than Star Wars. If it's better than Star Wars.
Yeah, anyway, we went for a meal today, and there was something, I can't remember what it was, that I couldn't stop laughing at. It's the most I've laughed in months. What was it, guys?
I think it was a load of like
Oh.
There was-
misprinted Star Wars
Yes,
products.
there was
like
some.
little
There were some
action
counterfeit Star
Dennis.
Wars figures. But what was the one that I couldn't stop
Dennis.
laughing at?
Dennis
Oh.
the Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, there was an action figure of Darth Maul that was entitled Dennis.
The Phantom Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis the Phantom Menace.
What were the other
Yeah.
ones? I think something like Boss Nass was Upright
Oh,
Frog.
hold on a minute.
No, it was
Upright
Upright
Slug.
Slug. C3PO was R2-3PO. What were the-
C3D2.
Yeah, what were the other names? Obi-Wan was something like... Oh, what was Obi-Wan
was-
called?
Okay, one Benobi.
Oh, what?
Oh, I forgot what they called him. Sidious was funny. He was called Daft Silius or something like that.
You know what? We should get Ian on the show.
We should, Do you want to do it next week, Ian? The show, that is.
If you're still here.
I think he is.
Yeah, me too.
It says
I
6 people
fancy
are
it.
watching.
Also, who do you think's more likely to still be alive out of Elvis?
Out of all of us?
Yeah, out of
Me.
Elvis, Madeleine McCann, or Hitler?
Maul's name is Dennis. It's canon
we don't
now.
know what happened to
That
Madeleine
is why
McCann.
I don't like the new canon. That is
It's
precisely
not
why. because
really.
It was a counterfeit.
It's believable.
Ah, good. We've got him on board.
It's so believable given the circumstances.
What?
That's
So he'd
just
be
what-
called Daft Dennis? For some reason, I imagine him played by Phil Collins, not in costume, just dressed normally. Daft Dennis.
Tell everybody
You know,
on my way.
Oh, I had to sing that
kill
song
off
in
some Jedi.
pantomime.
Go on, Pete, sing it for us now.
Tell everybody I'm on my way.
New foes and new Jedi to kill.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen the picture. Oh god, there's 2 pictures up now. I
Pete,
couldn't find the
what
first
picture?
one.
Pete,
Just
could you
say-
sing
here it
One
is.
Pound Fish again, please?
Yeah.
Come on, ladies, come on.
One pound
pound
fish. But
I
yeah,
meant to
here's the picture of the counterfeit. Well, it wasn't even counterfeit, it was melted. The melted fin we saw today.
I meant to the
the
sound
screen.
of Silent Night, Pete.
Come on, ladies.
Come on, ladies.
1 pound.
Remember, melted fin died for our sins.
No, he didn't.
Melted John Boyega says differently. But look at his eyes. His
It
eyes.
just looks like someone just took a cocktail stick and just dipped it in paint and put them around where the eye sockets are.
They look like they're bulging out of his sockets.
Ian says,
Oh.
I remember a counterfeit Yoda figure called the Wise Puppet, and it looked like a small green Mr. Miyagi with pointy
Isn't
ears.
that basically what Yoda is?
Does anyone remember the yogurt doll from the Spaceballs
Oh
movie?
yes.
Oh,
I haven't seen.
What did it look
I
like?
haven't seen that movie.
Mike, I like
Oh.
how you typed that rather than saying it, considering you're on live radio.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was just telling Ian about it, but yeah, I've seen it as well. It is pretty.
It's conceivable that Michael's having trouble getting a word in edgewise, which many of us are, it has to be said.
I've just come up with a new idea, and we'll do this just before the show ends. A new idea for a round. Not a round, a feature. I want each of you to give me a word.
Why?
Just give me a word. You go first, Jack. Any word.
Shut.
Shut. Okay, Pete, you give me a word.
Does it have to be related
No,
to...
any word.
Dog.
Dog. Okay. Ollie.
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia. Okay, Ollie. Whatever your name is, Mike.
Dissonant.
What?
Dissonant.
Dissonant. Okay, I am going to go on Spotify and search for these words together and see what song comes up.
This will be interesting.
Dog. Onomatopoeia. Dissonant.
You know what we should do? We should do a song Mad Lib one day.
We should.
Song
that?
Mad Lib.
Yes,
Yeah,
like what Brent Foss
basically-
used to do.
Yeah, you take a popular song and you take out all of the you take out certain words and you don't tell the people putting the words in what the song is. You just say like, I need a verb or I need an object.
Oh my god, let's do that in a bit.
That
Let's
basic-
end the show here, then we'll stream it tonight. I'll do one as a test.
Well,
How's
I
that
think you
sound?
should record that because you can edit in the instrumental.
Yeah.
No,
Shall we
but
do
I can
that
play the
tomorrow?
instrumental here. because it will
Just record it and edit it later, Seth.
Yeah, but I want to hear your live
simpler.
reactions.
Sir, just record it later.
Bugger off!
Oh wait, no, you can share the sound and
Yes.
yeah, share the sound. Okay, if you wanted the live reaction, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, then
We'll
get the audio
experiment.
and edit later and just re-upload it.
Yeah, let's just experiment with it. So tomorrow?
Okay.
Sure.
Awesome, it's a date.
I think
Unless you
I
want to
think
do
I
it
could-
I'll see what I can do.
I don't
I
care.
think I could do tomorrow.
Yeah, I can do tomorrow.
Yeah, and you just
As
have
long
to
as
give
you-
words.
As long as you keep to the schedule.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll let you know because I've probably got.
Yeah.
Cause I've got a game against a miniature war game against somebody in the afternoon. So I'll
When you
keep
say miniature war game, do you mean
Yeah.
like it's a tabletop thing, or do you mean that you're like sending mini tanks to their house to fire at them,
Or war
No,
against.
tabletop.
or a war against dwarves?
Nah, just a tabletop game.
Oh, so you're not like attacking small children?
It's Games
That's
Workshop, Seb. It's a game where you could attack small children and it wouldn't matter.
God, what kind of place are they running?
Well, I know that there was a small child which I did
Why are
play
they
a
running?
Games Workshop battle with. He threw one of my models across the table and almost broke it.
Oh,
When you say models, do you mean toys or?
Or do you mean like you had, I don't know, like Katie Price sitting on the table or something?
We can throw
No.
at her?
I was
I know
playing
what
with
you
it.
meant, Jack, and it sounded pretty salty of the kid to do that.
Yes.
What happened to the model? Was it okay?
Yes, it's okay. I still have it.
Oh. So like
kept-
it
I
wasn't
kept-
damaged.
I kept my assassins. They weren't really worth selling.
Yeah, fair enough.
I also kept my the monster mashes I made.
What, you hit the mash?
I knew that was going
The
to come up in
monster.
conversation.
Did someone just play a harmonica, or was that like a phantom noise?
That was a ringtone.
Oh, I
Yes,
thought I heard
my
a ph-
ringtone.
I almost said a thermometer then. I just got a harmonica and a thermodone mixed up in my head.
A what?
Oh, the alien sounding thing, like that.
With that in mind,
What's it
Michael,
called?
With that in mind, Mike, I could actually do a 600-point battle with you.
Okay, yeah. What army do you have?
Assassins.
Just assassins.
Before I
That's all
go, and we're
that's
going
all
to
I
end
got
this
left.
now because it's beginning to drag.
Okay.
Before
Everything
I go,
else I sold.
No.
yeah. Before I go, what is that alien thing called that goes? It's an instrument, and you move
pheromone.
your hand and it pheromone. That's it.
No, pheromone is an airborne chemical.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's pheromone.
Pheromone. Yeah, it's something like that, isn't
Hold
it?
on, I'll Google it. Pheromone. Yep,
Seb, are you,
pheromone.
Sex spray, gentlemen.
Seb, are you going to put that image off and go back to really big podcast?
A
No,
theremin
is it
an
disturbing
electronic
you?
musical instrument controlled
No,
without
I'm just asking.
impact by the theremin.
Slowly zoom into his eyes.
Okay. Da-da. Da-da.
It's, guys,
Guys.
guys,
Yes,
It's freaking you
It's-
out.
it's not actually disturbing me. I was just asking you a question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what was you saying again, Jack? Sorry?
I don't know now.
Oh.
He was
Oh.
disturbed by Finn.
If we were talking about what Games Workshop, Mike, I have a Vindicare Temple Assassin worth 600 points. So, yeah, I could in theory do a battle with you if we ever got the chance.
Oh, 600 points of Vindicares, okay.
Well, not Vindicares, I've got all of them. All four: Calexus, Calidus, Eversa.
Just letting you know,
Okay.
we've breached the 1 hour mark.
Yeah,
which is
yeah, we
normal
better go
length
now.
for a podcast.
Is there anything stopping someone just putting like an Action Man figure on the table and just saying, look, this guy's a giant, he's obviously going to trample a lot of them. I win.
Well, no,
Yeah.
because nobody really likes Action Man these days. You
Yeah,
only have to watch
well-
James May's Toy Stories.
I don't know, like, what if you got, I don't know, an Obi-Wan, because he's got the Force, like an Obi-Wan action figure. He could defeat a lot of them with the Force.
James May's Toy Story just sounds like a Pixar movie that's Toy Story style Mad Max.
That's That may be so, Ollie, but it is actually the one show where someone tried to blast an action man into orbit.
Huh.
Wow.
Well, he is the greatest hero of them all, which I don't think he deserves that moniker at all.
And see if he
what
could
about Mother
use...
Teresa and, Winston Churchill and Gandhi, it's...
And Superman.
Yeah, and Superman, he's a better hero than Action Man. Action Man's just a guy who looks a bit like Robbie Williams and has a gun and fights a white
Man's just
Mr.
a guy
T.
without a dick.
Yeah, he's a guy without a dick who looks like Robbie Williams, has a gun, and fights a white Mr. T.
They didn't use it. They didn't just blast him into orbit. They also allowed him to use his own parachute to make it back to Earth, and he was in good condition afterwards.
They allowed him.
Wow.
Yes. They set it up that
Did
way.
he have to ask for permission?
Well, no, because he was an action figure. He can't actually talk.
Yeah, in other words, you can't forbid him from using a parachute if he so wishes, because he's an action figure.
Well, he doesn't actually have a choice because he's an action figure.
So they forced him to use a parachute.
They set him up to use one, yes.
Yeah.
The point is, he went up into space, came back to Earth, and was fine.
Lots of people have.
Reginald Actionman.
Yeah, the greatest hero of them all. And on that note, thank you all for joining us. We had a good time, a laugh, and yeah.
Some of us did.
Speak for
See you
yourself.
soon.
And a long discussion about Star Wars.
Yeah,
Merry-
and
Merry
dog
Merry
dildos.
Christmas, you filthy animals.
Goodbye.
Last Jedi is the best Star Wars film, don't at me. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
See you later,
Have a
folks.
good
Bye.
stream. This is